Hi everyone, thank you for joining today's webinar. Today's webinar is going to be an insight session into our fantastic online and blended learning MSc in financial management. First of all, I wanted to say I hope you're all keeping well during what continues to be an uncertain time for us all. And also, I just wanted to say thank you to our frontliners, so our NHS staff here in the UK and also other healthcare workers across the world for helping save lives during this difficult time. By way of introduction, my name is Daisy James and I'm the course advisor for our online and blended learning course, the MSc in Financial Management. And I'm joined by two fantastic academics, our course director, Dr. Amedeo De Cesari, and Professor Arif Kershed, who has been helping and involved in the development of the MSc and teaches on the Foundations of Finance unit. So my role essentially is to help and support you in your application to the programme. I'm here to answer any questions you have, obviously after today's webinar and beyond that, in order for you to make an informed decision as to whether or not the course is the right fit for you. Before I pass you on to Amedeo and Arif, I wanted to talk to you about the Manchester Business School. So the business school itself was established in 1965 and it was one of the UK's first two business schools. So as you can imagine, it's got a massive historic presence. We pride ourselves on our fantastic academics who deliver world-class research and industry-focused education. And this is what you can expect from our online MSc in Financial Management. As you can see from this slide, we produce graduates who think that little bit differently. So we provide students and yourselves, if you choose to join us, with the knowledge, expertise and ability to really excel in today's business environment. We believe that we're at the top of our game at producing great graduates and fantastic academic content, which will help you reach your career goals. Obviously, we're part of Manchester University, which was established in 1824. We're ranked extremely highly in the UK, Europe and across the world. So we're ranked 6th in the UK, 8th in Europe and 29th in the world. And I believe that is a pretty strong statistics. The business school itself, last year by the Financial Times, was ranked a top 10 business school. And we have a global network of 60,000 alumni based in over 176 different countries. So this will help you immensely build your network and grow professionally because you'll be talking to academics from across the world, but also students from the other side of the world. And that can open doors that you never knew existed. The university itself, so Manchester University, is the #1 most targeted UK university by graduate employers. I've worked in recruitment for a couple of years now, and this really does put you in good stead if you're wanting to kind of develop and grow in current roles and kind of other roles in different sectors. It makes you attractive to employers and it again opens doors that potentially you never knew existed. So I'm just going to hand you over to Amedeo, who's going to give you a brief insight into his background, and then Arif will kind of follow on from that.
Thanks, Daisy. Thanks a lot for your introduction and the information on our school. So my name is Amedeo De Cesari. I'm the program director for this new MSc in Financial Management, which is a blended program. I'm currently a senior lecturer in finance here at Alliance Manchester Business School. I've been working in this school for quite a long time now. And basically my experience in terms of both teaching and also research is mainly in the areas of corporate finance and corporate governance. So I've been teaching both on campus and also within our global MBA program for quite a long time now. Normally teach corporate finance, of course, and financial management. And I indeed also teach corporate finance in this new program. And I also do research in different areas such as corporate finance, governance, with a particular focus on payout policy, dividend payments, stock repurchases, merger acquisitions, and executive compensation. What I want to say also is that the people involved in the teaching on this program are people with very extensive experience when it comes to teaching students, MSc students, and also when it comes to teaching within a blended program. Also, all of the people involved in the teaching are faculty members, so our faculty, people such as Professor Arif Kershed, who is with us today, of course, and also Dr. Julian Jones. So we are very experienced when it comes to delivering within these programs, and we're all very committed as a faculty. So I now hand over to Arif for his introduction.
Hello all. So as Daisy and Amedeo were telling, I'm a part of the team, and I had the pleasure of working with the team for the last maybe 2 or 3 years when we were developing this program. And the idea was that we wanted to have a program for people who perhaps may have little or no background in finance, or maybe have done finance, but they're looking to progress within the industry, or people from outside the financial industry trying to look for job opportunities within the financial industry. And we wanted to bring the education to you. So rather than you traveling to the UK and come and do a full-time master's with us, we're bringing the master's to you. So this was the idea. And within this idea was also embedded the fact that we wanted to make this program as practical as possible. So we are trying to bring to you a mix of theory and real world. And this has been the format, and this has been the aim and objective of the program from the very start. So all the modules that you will do, and we will go through the modules in the next few minutes with you, all the modules have been structured in such a way that you will have some theoretical background to it, some theoretical underpinning, which is really necessary for you to understand finance. And then what is the application of that theoretical setting in the real world? Because at the end of all of this, you need to really understand, how do I apply financial theory in solving a real financial problem? In terms of my background, I have been, like Amedeo, at Alliance Manchester for a long period of time. Actually, this is where I started my career about 21 years ago, and have been here. And along with my team, we have been teaching quite vastly on our very successful global MBA program, which is very much similar in terms of delivery to your new MSc. So we do what is called blended learning, which is a mix of online learning and face-to-face. So I have been involved in the development of your new MSc, and I will also be teaching one of the core courses, one of the earlier courses on your program, Foundations of Finance. So in the first semester of your program, you will have Foundations of Accounting and you will have Foundations of Finance. So what I'll do today is to give you a sense of how the teaching will take place, what platform do we use, what kind of material will be available to you, and how all your courses will progress. I will show you a quick view of the Blackboard, which is the platform that we use in Manchester to deliver online teaching. So this is about the program. In terms of my own research expertise and my teaching expertise, I teach corporate finance here at Manchester, and I've also been traveling around the world teaching corporate finance at our institutes and our offices around the world and other universities as well. And my research interests are around initial public offerings. So this is when companies go to the stock market for the very first time to raise large amounts of capital. So you know Facebook, you know Alibaba, you know Saudi Aramco, they have done one of the largest IPOs in the world. So I'm interested in looking at issues surrounding IPOs, as we call them. I also work on trade credit, on venture capital, and recently I've started getting into politics and entrepreneurship, and also into financial literacy. So what we're doing as a university, as a business school, is that we are going to local schools, starting with Greater Manchester, and speaking to children 10, 12, 14 years of age and talking to them about their understanding of financial matters. So quite wide-ranging interest in research, but almost everything to do with corporate finance. I have been an external consultant to the stock market regulator in the UK. We call it FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority. And I've also been a consultant to the British Venture Capital Association. And very recently, I acted as an expert witness on a legal matter of corporate dispute. So this is my background. And I think we will now move on to the next part of the presentation, where Daisy will take you through the course structure.
Okay, thanks Arif for your contribution, for your input. Yes, I think I will talk a little bit about the objectives of the course, the philosophy somehow around the course, underline the course, and also a bit about the structure, and then I will hand over back to you again for your part concerning your unit. So basically, as Arif has already stated, This is a course that is open to different types of applicants, different types of people that may be interested in learning more about finance, and particularly financial management. So on the one hand, we may have students, applicants that actually they have no knowledge of finance and or accounting, but they are quite strong quantitatively. So they have some basic, at least basic quantitative skills that would allow them to learn some finance. And they're interested perhaps in learning finance because they want to change their career path quite substantially. At the same time, you could also have other applicants who may have some knowledge of finance, perhaps either academic and or professional knowledge of finance, but perhaps they want to learn more about finance. They want to basically, again, have a change in career, or perhaps a career progression within the institution in which they work. And of course, this is a program that can appeal to people working in corporations, particularly large multinationals, but also people working in the financial sector. And again, that want to basically improve their skills, their knowledge of finance, and want perhaps to have a career progression. So it's really a course that somehow starts quite slow. We start from the foundations of accounting and finance in particular, and we build up on that quite quickly. So by the end of this MSc in Finance, essentially MSc in Financial Management, you will learn a lot about financial management. You will learn a lot in particular about those techniques that managers need to use on a daily basis to tackle some practical questions. So there is theory in this MSc, but the focus is on practical applications of theories, unlike some of the other MScs you find out there, particularly those which are on campus. Another important point I want to mention, again, this is a blended program, meaning that somehow there is a combination, there is a blend of two different approaches to delivering our content. On the one hand, we have the online delivery, which is probably the prevalent one here. On the other hand, we also have this face-to-face component, which is very, very important. We basically have, for 8 units, we have one face-to-face workshop, 3-day workshop. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the workshop, what we do in a minute. But we believe that is the highlight of the program compared to other programs that are again available out there. It's important to realize that we as a school, we are very experienced when it comes to delivering blended programs and MSCs in general. We have been teaching on our MSc programs for many years now, and we have been teaching on the global MBA program again for many years. Another important point I want to mention is that when it comes to learning or doing perhaps some research on a particular topic in finance, we need data. We need data as academics. You need data if you're an analyst, if you're a manager. And our school has a very extensive data set of financial databases, probably one of the most extensive sets in Europe, if not beyond, probably even beyond. Very, very extensive data set, very, very extensive set of databases, and this will be available to you. So you will be able to use them even off campus. So if you could please move on to the next slide. Okay, so again, as I say, there's a blended learning program. What this means is that in most units, in 8 units, so basically we have 2 years, the program lasts for 2 years, although there is some flexibility when it comes to the duration of the program. You can basically extend the duration up to 5 years. And over this period, there are basically 8 units and a final project, which counts for 60 credits. And each of those 8 units, there is in the middle or at the start, a workshop, a face-to-face workshop. And this face-to-face workshop, which can take place either in Manchester or Shanghai, we have basically 2 centers, so there will be workshops in both centers, just to clarify this point. So in this 3-day face-to-face workshop, essentially, these are very important opportunities for you to meet with us, tutors, ask questions, interact with us, interact with your colleagues, perhaps create a network that will be very, very important professionally in your future career. And it's also an opportunity for you, more pragmatically, to work on one assignment, one group-based assignment, which is basically, which normally counts for 50% of the credits in the unit. Okay, so by the end of the workshop, essentially, you would have been awarded already 50% generally of the credits for that particular unit, and the remaining 50% will be linked to a final assignment, which is actually individual assignment, which takes place at the end of the unit. So there are 8 units, as I said, with workshops, and there is also a final project, a final group project unit, in which basically you will be allocated to a group of students, and you will work with them on an empirical project. And this will be a project of your choice to a certain extent. So this will be a topic you're interested in, and you're going to basically use some quantitative techniques to work on some data that you yourself collect. So it's a very interesting project, very useful also practically. There are no exams in the program at all. So all of the assessment tasks are basically assignments, either group-based or individual assignments. As I said, it's a 2-year course, but we are quite flexible. In terms of effort, this is designed as a course, as a program for people that work full-time. So you can work full-time and still go through this program. You need some effort, of course. We estimated probably 15 hours per week of study could be sufficient. It depends on you, of course, on how quickly you can go through the material, but basically this is the type of effort required. And you can manage your time to a certain extent. There will be busier and less busy periods throughout this program, essentially. So you can manage your time quite well, I would say. In terms of method of learning, again, part of it is online. So we have material that we deliver through Blackboard. There you can find material to read. You can find references to other material. You can find videos. You can find quizzes. We also have interactive tutorials, okay, virtual tutorials, and we also have, of course, the face-to-face workshops. There is also a dedicated student study advisor that will support you throughout the course. So if we could please go forward. Yeah, in terms of structure, very briefly, before I hand over again back to Arif. So in the first semester, we have 2 foundational units, Foundations of Accounting, Foundations of Finance, which is actually taught by Arif. And again, in this case, we have 2 workshops, 1 each. These workshops actually are front-loaded. Okay, so you will start basically from these 2 face-to-face workshops when you start your program. And this will also act as an induction for you. Essentially, we will be there for you. We'll be able to address any questions you may have about not just these 2 units, but also the program as a whole, and also some issues concerning, for instance, academic skills, such as academic writing and referencing. Next, in the second semester, we have 3 more units. Actually, as a matter of fact, we have 2 units that are somehow standalone units, like the ones we saw in semester 1, corporate finance, which is the one I teach essentially, and global financial markets. These are similar in terms of structure to the ones we saw in semester 1. The main difference is that here the workshops will be in the middle, around the middle of these units, not at the start. We also have a virtual and an online somehow sub-unit, what we can call a sub-unit, which is part of the final project, which is called Data Analysis and Statistical Techniques. So in this virtual unit, essentially, you will learn some statistical techniques that are useful to analyze data, test some questions you may have concerning the data. And these are techniques that are useful to, for instance, to financial analysts. In the next semester, which is semester 3, so in the second year, essentially, again, semester 3 is quite similar to semester 2 in that we have 2 units that are somehow the standard units we normally have with workshops. One of them called Financial Statement Analysis. The other one is called International Financial Management. And again, we have another quantitative techniques unit called Quantitative Methods for Financial Management, which again will be useful for you both in your profession, but also to prepare for the final project, which takes place in the next semester, which is semester 4. So this is the last semester of the program. Here we have again 2 units. These are somehow more specific units focusing on very specific but very hot topics nowadays, like venture capital and private equity, and also a unit like business models and financial strategy, which is quite different from the units that you normally find in MSCs. This is basically about the strategy, the strategic thinking around financial management. So it's a very important unit and very, very useful. And finally, you also have the group project. Okay, this is basically a project, again, which is of quantitative nature, in which you collect some data, you analyze it, and you report this to us, your final report. It is a group-based assignment. So I guess I can now hand over back to you too, Daisy and Arif. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Amedeo. That was really insightful. So I'm just, for the purpose of the audience, I'm just going to make Arif our presenter. He's going to run you through kind of Blackboard and what you can expect from when if you choose to study with us. Oh, Arif, just very quickly, could you unmute yourself, please?
Sorry, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I'll just quickly, okay, you can see my screen, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great, thank you. So as Amedeo was saying earlier, we have these core 8 courses along with the group project, and all of these courses will have a similar format in terms of teaching material. So what we thought would be helpful for you is to do a bit of a show and tell, where I just show you exactly how course material will be structured online and where all this will fit when it comes to the format of a course. So as I was saying earlier, you will start your MSc program with 2 foundation courses, Foundations of Finance and Foundations of Accounting. So in terms of how the material will be available to you, we will upload all the material on the learning platform, which is called Blackboard. This is what we use at Manchester, and this is what will be available to you. So when you log on to the course onto Blackboard, this is what you will see. So for example, there will be a welcome and introduction and a video, which is what you can't see here, but this is where it would be, and some narrative on this particular course itself, where I start talking about the importance of finance, the objectives of the course, what would be the learning outcomes of the course, what skills will you develop by the end of this course, being both intellectual and practical, being transferable and personal at the same time, and some more information on the course structure, the textbooks that we will follow, and what supporting activities will be available to you. So almost everything that you need to know about the course itself will be at this particular point of time at this place. Along with the welcome and introduction, where you will also have videos for every topic of the course. So for example, if I take you to the learning resources, which is a tab on the left-hand side, material will be uploaded based on all the topics that we will cover in this course. For example, we will have 6 topics and all the material will be here. It could be in the form of a PDF file, it could be a video, it could be an Excel file, some narrative, some discussion, questions in terms of the topics that you will be going through. We will also have the contents page. So this is where all the main material for all the 6 or 7 topics for my course will lie. So for example, when you click on topic number 1, it is made up of other parts. So we start with what is finance, what are different perspectives on finance, and so on. So you can read all this narrative, and what we would expect is that for every course, first of all, you will read the material that is available to you on Blackboard, and once you have read a particular topic, then your teacher will guide you to the respective chapters in the textbook that will be used for that particular course. So all the material will be available as you see here in terms of topics, and when you click on the subtopics, you will go straight to the narrative on that. The importance of the narrative is that your teachers will give their own view about a particular topic, something that perhaps you will not find in the textbook. So your teachers perhaps will give you more international examples, perhaps will give you a bit more about what is happening in the real world. Maybe they will critique some of the material that is discussed in a particular chapter in your textbook. In other words, it will take you beyond, this material will take you beyond what you will read in the textbook. So this is the extra bit that you will get in terms of the material. And we have materials, for example, I've got 6 or 7 topics in my course, and each topic will have its own tab. And within that tab, you will not only have the narrative, but you will also have some activity as well at the end of it. So for example, if I go to topic 1 and I go to the very end of that topic and I click on that, it will take me to an activity which will provide more information. For example, I will now say to you, now that you have read this narrative of topic 1, please go and read chapters 1 and 2 of your course textbook, and then attempt the quiz at the end of the chapter questions and problems. And once you have attempted the quiz, then you can go and focus on a mini case study. So what I've done here is, for every topic that I cover in my course, there'll be theory and there'll be discussion, but at the same time, at the end of that topic, I've brought in some mini case studies where there would be a financial management problem introduced to you, and using the skills that you have learned in that topic, we will have a discussion as to how do you solve that financial problem. So almost every topic in my course has a mini case study attached to it. There are some problems attached to the mini case study, and you will have time, and then you will think about those questions after reading the case study. You will think about what you have read in that topic, and then I will take you to a dedicated place, which I will go in a minute, where we will have discussions about that particular case study. Where possible, we will try to make a link between what is happening in today's world and what is being taught to you in that particular topic, so you would be able to see the relevance of that topic when it comes to what is happening in the financial world as we speak. All these topics would have some kind of a small test for you. So for example, when you click on topic 1 quiz, it'll take you to a set of questions, as I'm showing that for you now. So when you click on the begin, you'll start getting all these questions where you can select the answer. And once you have attempted all these questions and you save and submit, you will then get the correct answers and the explanations. All these quizzes will not be marked. This is just an additional thing for you to practice your knowledge, to apply this knowledge, to make sure that you understood what was being said and discussed in that topic before you move on to your mini case study. So this is how the content of the course will be structured, 7 topics. Along with this, you will also have a course study schedule. There will be some information on your assessments. So as Amedeo was saying earlier to you, there will be 2 assessments for every course. There will be no exams. One of these assessments is very likely to be done during the time of the face-to-face workshop. The 3-day period when you will be with us, either in Shanghai or in Manchester, where we will have a face-to-face teaching from say 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. for 3 days, where you will sit with your peers, you will go through all these topics together, and then at the end of this, there will be an assignment that you will work on in a group. Quite usual, it will be a case study where you will have to solve a problem, and you have to make a presentation to the cohort and to your presenter, to your teacher at the end of the workshop, and this will be assessed. And then towards the end of the course, there will be a final individual assessment, and all that information will be available under this Documents tab. So we will give you a full course study schedule. So for example, if I click on that, it tells you what to read and when to read, and to check where you are in terms of the progress on your course. So every course will have this study schedule, and I'm just showing you an example on your screen at the moment for this particular course. Coming back to the content, and an important part of Blackboard is the discussions tab. So if I click on discussions, just give me 1 second, please. So let me see. Okay, yeah. So when I click on discussions, this is where social learning on your course will take place. So as I said to you earlier, you will go through these 7 topics in my course, and after you are ready with topic 1, I will then invite you to this place on Blackboard, which is called the discussions forum, where we will discuss topic 1, for example. So here, this is where you will find solutions to your end of chapter questions from your textbook. Here you will also find the questions and answers for your mini case study. And this is where I'm hoping that you will put up comments and discussions and I will reply. So this is where we will be communicating as a group, not amongst only between you and me, but also amongst yourselves as well. And this activity will be repeated for all the 7 topics. So basically, this is the place where we will have social learning, where we will discuss what we are learning. This will also be the place where I will, perhaps based on whatever the current discussion is ongoing in the financial markets, put up some kind of an article, some kind of a link and say, okay, go and read this and let's have a discussion next week as to what you think about this particular problem and how can you relate this problem with what you have done in this particular topic of your course. So discussion forum will be a very important part of our learning process. Then if you go to the left-hand side of your screen, you've got all these tabs on assessment and feedback. There are also information on your assessments in terms of the grade center, and there will be information on evaluation and so on and so forth. So this is how we plan to structure all the teaching material on Blackboard. And remember that along with all this material, you also have the 3-day face-to-face workshop for every of the 8 courses that you have on the program. And we really look forward to seeing everyone in the face-to-face workshop, in the sense that we feel this is really one point where you can see your teacher, you can sit with your colleagues, you can be either in Shanghai or Manchester, and you can feel a part of the university and of the business school. So this was a very quick show and tell as to how the teaching material will be structured and what would be the format of learning and teaching as you move from one course to the other and from one semester to the other.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Arif. I'm just going to start sharing my screen now for everyone. So can you all see my screen? Is that okay? Yeah, brilliant. So thank you, Arif and Amedeo. I hope all of you on the call today found today's insight session insightful. So as I said, my name is Daisy James and I'm your course advisor. So please do get in touch with me. My email address, as you can see here, is studyonline@manchester.ac.uk. I'm also, as I'm working remotely, as all of us are at the moment, available for a Zoom or Skype call. So if you kind of want to talk through your application, talk through your motivations and just get a sense of whether the course is the right fit for you, please do let me know. This is what I'm here for. So we have had a few questions come in, so I really appreciate your questions. So someone has asked, do we offer any scholarships? So yes, we do. We offer 2 scholarships. One is Professional Services Scholarship and the other is Women in Finance Scholarship. So both of these are £4,000. The Professional Service Scholarship is for those students who work in a professional service. So to give you an example, KPMG, Goldman Sachs, HSBC or Barclays, and kind of the list is endless, so please do get in touch if you need to know more. So if to be eligible for this scholarship, you need to be working in one of these professional services and looking to kind of progress in that sector. The Women in Finance Scholarship is for women, obviously, who are looking to kind of develop in the financial services sector. So how you apply for these scholarships is in the form of a PowerPoint presentation. So it's a separate application form to the standard application form. What that means is it's a blank canvas for you to really showcase your skills and really kind of show us why you are eligible for one of those 2 scholarships. We also offer a 15% alumni discount. So if you've studied with or at the University of Manchester, you will be entitled to that discount. One thing I do want to mention is we have an early application discount, which is 10% of the overall tuition fees, which is £19,500. So the 10% would give you £1,950 off that fee. And we've extended the deadline for this. So the deadline for this is now the 20th of May. Obviously, with the current situation here in the UK and across the world, we wanted to give you that little bit extra time to kind of prepare your application and things like that. So I hope that gives you some clarity. We have another question about the conferences. So are the conferences in September going ahead? So it's a really good question, and thank you for asking that. At the moment, they are still going ahead, but obviously the world is kind of changing very, very quickly. My role obviously is to support and offer guidance at every stage of your application. So I will let you know if things change. If those conferences don't go ahead, rest assured I'll let you know, and rest assured that your learning would not be impacted. We will find ways to kind of provide you with the learning and kind of learning outcomes you would have got on the conferences. But like I said, we'll inform you if anything does change. Final question for today's webinar is when should I apply? So again, it's a really good question. The MSc in Financial Management is extremely popular and it's competitive. So please do get your application in as soon as you can. Like I said, I'm on hand to answer any questions you have. And just to mention and highlight again, the 20th of May is the deadline for the early application discount and also the scholarship application form. But yeah, like I said, please do get your application in as soon as you can, but I'm on hand to answer any questions about that. So I just wanted to say thank you, Arif and Amedeo, for your time this morning, and also thank you to all of the attendees for joining today. We look forward to hopefully welcoming you on campus in September. And yeah, we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye, everyone.